Hey guys, we are Next Chapter Outdoors, and we are coming to you from the East Coast side of our company.
Okay. Yeah, here we are, Pennsylvania. This is our first get-together. Actually, first time, Dawson, you and I have been able to get together since we kind of launched this project a little bit. And it's been 2 months, I think, more or less, since the Facebook site went up. Things are going pretty good. I was really surprised to see we're averaging over 1,000 page views a week on the site, so some people are taking interest in what we're doing. And about a month ago, the YouTube channel went live. I got a few things posted up on there, and we're going to try to start building some content out video-wise. So, yeah, things are going good. Got you in town for a couple days. Had a chance to go do some hunting on Friday. Did some bird hunting with Toby. That was your first time hunting with the dog?
That was the first time hunting with the dog. You know, we haven't been out here since Colorado moved. So we decided to do a first hunt for the page and just kind of get a small get together. So it was a good time. Shot a couple birds and it went well. So
yep, a lot of fun. Got out there. We have some of you guys know we have a 1.5-year-old chocolate lab we've been training. I've been working with over the last year. He's coming along pretty good. So we had a lot of fun with him. Just want to share a little bit what's happening and what we have planned going into the next few months and this year, and kind of get things rolling. As far as me, this winter, trying to stay busy, doing a lot of hiking, backpacking. No overnight stuff yet, although once the weather breaks, planning on that. Got out and did some shed hunting this year. That's something that is pretty new for me. And I got a little pile of some success stories here. We were able to come up with a few, and that's been a lot of fun just to get out and kind of see what's still running around. Trout season opens here in Pennsylvania next Saturday. Making plans to get out on French Creek at some point, probably for opening day. And anybody that's interested, kids under 16 don't need a license. If you're 16 or older in Pennsylvania, you do need a resident license, as well as a trout stamp if you're going to go trout fishing. So you can stop probably at any sporting goods store in the area. You can go online, get your fishing guide and your license. I think the rates are, I think it's $22.90 for the resident license and $9.90, I think, for the trout salmon stamp that you need. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of fish out there, probably be a lot of guys fishing. The season opens 2 weeks early in our area here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Statewide it opens beginning of April, so you got to pay attention to that as well. How about out in Colorado?
So what we got going on in Colorado right now is a lot of snow. So right now there's not a whole lot going on. Right now there's a couple of April 2nd is the application deadline at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. In Colorado they changed it from 12 midnight to 8 o'clock p.m. in Mountain Time. So that is April 2nd. That will be the end of the deadline, so get your applications in if you're doing that. There are quite a bit of fees, new fees that you need to look up in your guidebook that tells you everything, like habitat stamps. I think there's also a couple of things that you need to buy as far as like a stamp or something.
A small game license, I think.
You have to get, yeah, it's a small game license is what will qualify you for the draw. If you're just buying it over the counter, I don't think that applies. So, I mean, if you're looking at resident fees, it looks like your resident elk tag is going to be, for an adult, is $54.75 plus I think a $10 habitat stamp and your other fees. So it's roughly going to be around like $70 or so for a resident. Non-resident is what?
I was waiting to see how much the non-resident is.
Oh, the non-resident is about $661.
Yeah.
It went up from $650 from last year.
Pays to live in the
That's,
state, I guess.
That's for a
For
the either sex tag in archery. And then you got your rifle seasons and all that other stuff. So all that same stuff applies for the rifle seasons as well. But there's only second and third rifle season that are open to over the counter. First season and late season are draw only. So if you're looking to do that, there's all that. There is the pronghorn antelope hunt, which is $39.75 for a resident adult, and for a non-resident, including the fishing combo, it is $396. For the deer, it is $39.75 for resident and adult, and a $396.75 for the for mule deer. And for mule deer, it is draw only throughout the entire state as far as rifle and archery. So we have that going on. Coming up here, once the weather breaks, we're going to start doing a couple gear reviews. I think we're going to get out, do some scouting, do some shed hunting, and probably a lot of serious coyote hunting. So we're going to try to keep busy throughout the summer up until the start of season, and I think we're going to start the year out with an antelope hunt. So
sounds good. I guess that's a good segue to let everybody know too. End of September, we're planning our this will be our second archery elk trip out there. I'll be making a trip out. We're hunting with Dawson and with our cousin Randy. Still looking at areas, not exactly sure where we're going to be, somewhere in Colorado. Over-the-counter, public land, no guides, just us out there for a little over a week trying to call in a bull. So we'll see what happens. Look for more information on that as the year goes. We're already starting a lot of the planning preparation, but as things get a little closer, we'll probably be looking at gear reviews and some of the equipment that we'll be using and kind of our approach. So definitely I'm looking forward to that. That's an exciting trip. Couple things going on in our area just to share with folks. Next Saturday, Trinity, the 30th of March, the Trinity Church up in Boyertown, Pennsylvania is having their Sportsman's Banquet. There's a link to this on our Facebook site. They're having an outdoor writer, Steve Sorensen, who's going to be doing a presentation on whitetail deer hunting. They also have some vendors. I believe there's some raffles and food. And it's just going to be a good kind of fellowship event for folks that are interested in the outdoors. Again, that's March 30th. I believe it starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Also, a couple weeks from now, April 13th, Camp Anaba is having a 5K trail challenge. This is a fun event. It's not a competitive event, but there's going to be a running session as well as a hiking, backpacking session. You have the option of doing either or. The proceeds for the event are going to benefit the camp's summer programs and some scholarship programs that they have for students or children to attend the summer camps. So if anybody's interested in that, you can go to www.northwalesrunningco.com, and again, we'll put the I'll put the information and the link on our Facebook page as well. Again, that's April 13th. So if anybody's looking to get out and hit the trail, that might be a good opportunity. The other thing you can do is just an informal sense is there are trails all over the place, and not just in our area, but all over the country. I've been trying to get out as much as I can. Locally, if you stop at Warwick Park, you can pick up information on any of the Chester County trails and those that are administered by the county, including the Horseshoe Trail, which goes through the park. And there's literature on the trails, what the routes are, how to access them, things like the Schuylkill River Trail, Valley Forge Park in our area. A lot of different options to get out there, whether you want to hike, whether you want to ride bikes. The Horseshoe Trail allows horses, things like that. So again, I'm just inviting folks to get out there and enjoy the outdoors, get fit, and make it part of your life. One of the other things that we wanted to share is we're building out the site. And I'm going to be looking for input from the people who are interested in it to let us know what kind of content you're interested in, what you'd like to see. as we put together things on YouTube and on Facebook and other media. So in the interest of that, we're going to raffle off or give away a Next Chapter Outdoors hat. These hats are not for sale at present, but we do have a limited supply of them. So we're going to give one away at the end of the month. The way to enter for that is send us a message on Facebook and let us know what you think. Let us know what you're interested in, anything you're interested in as far as content. And at the end of the month, we'll put all the names in a hat. We'll pull a name, and you will get this limited edition Next Chapter Outdoors ball cap. Hopefully at some point we'll have those more readily available, but for now, if you want to get one, send us a suggestion. I do want to do a shout out to a fella that has pretty interesting business. He's not a sponsor by any means. Just use his product. I've been really impressed with it, as well as the service that I've gotten. And that is a fellow named Patrick Rohrman at M&T Knives. He is into sharpening knives, making custom knives, and I had an opportunity to pick up one of his knives about a year ago. This is the Genesis 2, second version. Sharp little knife. You want to be careful with it. But he makes different types of knives, fixed blade knives, and also is an expert in sharpening tools as well as knives. How I really got to start to build a relationship with him was I had ordered this knife actually on Amazon, and it was shipped to the house, and it got delivered, and our at the time 6-month-old lab Toby got to the package before I got home from work, and he proceeded to chew it up, and not only chewed through the box, but he chewed through a good portion of the Kydex holster, if you will, and actually got to the point where he was almost in contact with the blade. Fortunately, he didn't get hurt, but it was the protective covering was destroyed. So I reached out to Patrick and with the intent of just ordering a new one, and I was more than happy to pay for it. And he assured me not to worry about it. He said, "Hey, I got dogs too. I understand." Sent me one free of charge, and kind of started a relationship that we've had now since. Just spent a little time with him on the phone recently in preparation for the elk hunt out in Colorado, talking about you know, whether to use this knife, whether there might be something else that might be a better choice for what we're going to do. So we're having some conversations about that. You can go to find out more about his company and what he does. He has a website, www.mtknives.net, and you can go there. He can purchase his product. You can look at what he makes. He has DVD available on how to sharpen tools and knives. There's also some instructional videos on there. From speaking with him, I don't have the exact date, but I understand he is going to be at Trail Days on the Appalachian Trail, as well as some other. He has seminars scheduled around the country where he goes in and talks to groups about knives. So if you're interested in that, check him out. If you're a hunter, if you're a backpacker, I use this. I wear this almost every day as a neck knife, whether I'm backpacking, hiking, whether I'm out hunting, and it's just handy to have, and definitely impressed with his product and the service. So wanted to give him a shout as well. Anything you want to add?
So possibly coming up, there's been talks about like upcoming projects that are in the works. We've been talking back and forth about possibly doing a live broadcast on Facebook. Right now there's not a whole lot of information on it, but as far as we know for right now, I think it's going to be a like Next Chapter Stories type deal, you know, where we talk to people in the industry about just their hunting experiences or fishing experiences and some of the stories that they have and funny moments that they've dealt with throughout their years of being in the industry. So I mean, that's going to be possibly in the works. You know, we're going to, you know, try to figure out the logistics of everything here in the next month or two, and hopefully, we can get that rolling and bring you guys some more content, and start sharing experiences, our experiences, their experiences, and people out in the industry. So I think it'll be a pretty cool project to do. It'll definitely keep us very busy, and it'll be fun.
I think one thing I've not just getting involved in this project, but just over the last year or so, getting into the YouTube channels and kind of seeing what's out there. There are a ton of really cool, really interesting sites out there that folks have, whether it's hunting related, fishing related, hiking, backpacking sites, using not only YouTube as a media, but whether it's Instagram, Facebook, a lot of the different social media platforms, and a lot of interesting people out there, and you can see what they're all about. You can learn from them. You can find out about the gear. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think hopefully becoming part of that platform or that group it's going to be interesting. We're hoping to share and link with other folks. Folks like Patrick that I just mentioned. I know you've been talking with one of the fellows out there in Colorado with Transition Wild, and that's Adam, right?
It would be Adam Parr, yeah.
Yeah, Adam Parr. And what's interesting about him, he's another,
he basically did the same thing.
East Coast transplant that moved out west and is learning to hunt and fish out in the high Rockies, and didn't grow up there. So that for Dawson, that is kind of a good link to make. So we're hoping to have some of those folks get involved, industry experts, people who are in some kind of interesting realm. We've talked to some prospects already. I don't want to share all that yet, but we're going to get people that have a story to tell, and that's the goal. As far as gear reviews on my end, planning to do here probably in the next couple weeks a spring backpacking, overnight backpacking gear review. Most of my hiking has been day hikes, and I'm kind of looking to transition into the overnight or weekend backpacking here locally. So I have my gear together, just tweaking a few things. One thing I've learned is that every ounce counts. You spend a lot of time with the scale, measuring stuff, trimming stuff. You get kind of anal with it, but it makes a difference when it's on your back and you're hiking around for 10 miles or 15 miles. What you're carrying, but you need it when you need it, so you have to make sure that you have what you need at the right time. So follow along. Hopefully we'll have stuff that's of interest to people. If you have suggestions, please send us a message here in the next couple weeks. Get yourself entered for the hat, and we'll be in touch.
Yep.
All right, take care.
Thanks.